Hey there folks, how's it going? It's not so livid. Don't mind the voice, I'm a bit under the weather there. But this is something that needs to be recorded sooner rather than later. So we're here, doing this. I know it's been like a month since we did the 2022 Spotify Wrapped, but it is in fact that time of year again for the 2023 Spotify Wrapped. Hopefully it doesn't take me 10 months to release the video this time. I mean, at this point you know the drill, right? It's the same thing as we've done in the past 2 years. We're gonna look at my Spotify Wrapped, go through it, and then we're gonna slow things down and do a bit of analysis, perhaps. Given that I'm not feeling fantastic, we're probably gonna try to make this a little quicker than the usual. Actually, what am I doing? We should do predictions. So I know what my most listened to song is going to be. It is going to be a song by, I don't know how to say her name, dude. Chloe Moriando? I don't know. It was just some random song that popped up in a Discover Weekly, and I was like, this is a good song. I like how it sounds. So I listened to it a lot, and then I proceeded to not listen to much music for the latter half of the year. And mostly, the podcast time this year is through the roof. The music time this year, not so high. Is a little low. So I legitimately, beyond that, I have no idea. There's probably gonna be Paramore in there. Probably Grimes. And then I don't know, dude. It's gonna be that's all I got. As far as podcasts, it's probably gonna be The Yard and Chilluminati are gonna be the top two. Wine About It's probably somewhere in there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we got going on. Alright, I've dilly-dallied long enough. Let's jump into my 2023 Spotify Wrapped and see what the heck we got going on. Okay. Hello. 2023 was a feast for my ears. 25 genres, I think it said. And it's making a sandwich of genres. And they are, I guess I'll never know. This year, listening took you one place to listen to. Excuse me. Madison? USA? Where? Cause that was not, what? What was, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm missing things. Chloe Moriando was, yeah, 21 Pilots, what the heck? Okay. They were not one I was expecting, but that's fine. 26,000 minutes, 18 days non-stop. You peaked on May 24th. That's what they tell me. They tell me I peaked in May. My top artist was 21 Pilots. What? Why? How? How did that happen? Okay. I don't know how they were my top, but that's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't dislike them, obviously. Paramore, Grimes, and then Tonight Alive. Yeah, that sounds right. Chloe Moriando was literally only here because of that one song.
Greetings, Spotify fans and music lovers alike.
Hi.
I am here on behalf of the band 21 Pilots to say thank you for listening to our band so much this year. You are in the very top percentage of listeners.
And then what was that? Why did they do that? Top podcast, Chilluminati, Remember the Game, New Game Plus, Star Talk, and The Yard. Okay. It was in 9,000 minutes? Goodness. The way you listen this year makes you a hero, or maybe we should say anti-hero? What? Time Traveler. Have we met before? I guess I didn't want to read that. Oh, and we're done. Ugh. Every year is just it's like an assault the Spotify Wrapped is an assault on every mental faculty I possess. It's so fast, and it's just indecipherable until you slow it down and look at the slides individually. Why do they do that? Okay, I went through and took screenshots of all the different panels, slides, whatever they're called, from the Wrapped, so we can go through those. But before we do that, I do want to kind of peruse what's going on with all these other different things that I don't remember being a part of this last year, and we'll see if there's anything interesting to that. I mean, some of it obviously is going to be the same, like this, the top songs playlist is just, they just have that usually anyway, so this isn't new. But I do like to sort of check through it and see what's going on. And I also didn't like have time to process what my top 5 actually was. So yeah, Chloe Moriando, Take Your Time. I mean, that's what I said it was gonna be, and that was right. 21 Pilots, I literally had no expectation of them being in anything, and apparently they're quite present here. Quite present. Particularly Vessel is present. I do like Vessel. Vessel's a good album, in my opinion. I don't care so much for current day 21 Pilots, but I like their older albums. Like Vessel Regional at Best, which I don't think is on Spotify because there was some like legal dispute with the record company or something, and they couldn't get it on Spotify. I don't know. There was something with it. I didn't really look much into it, but I'm pretty sure it's not on Spotify. Also, they're Ohio boys, so gotta rep the Ohio boys, being an Ohio boy myself. Against the Current is just slightly different Paramore. I don't mean that in like a bad way, because obviously I love Paramore. This is not reflective of that. There's not enough Paramore in here to be reflective of how much I love Paramore. But Against the Current is very similar sounding, kind of. I was gonna say it's a little like more rocky than Paramore is, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. Similar vibes. Grimes, of course, because it's Grimes. And then Yule snuck in here too. Daisies is very good. Yule was this year's Reece recommendation. Last year it was Grimes, this year it's Yule. Every year there's always gotta be one, right? There's always gotta be one that sneaks in. Didn't crack the top 5, but pretty dang close for how late Yule came into the picture. Because I don't know how long ago Yule was. Because it was when this album came out. What is the album called? We're gonna click on this and we're gonna say view album. Soft Scars. But Soft Scars is her most recent album, and around when it came out is when I got the Yule push / Recce from your boy Reece. She's Grimes-esque, but like a little different. But Grimes-esque for sure. A lot of my top 5 from last year are just kind of hanging out around here somewhere, right? Like we got Flesh Without Blood hanging out over here. Royal Screw Up, Drag Me, they're all sort of hanging out fairly near the top. I wonder if there's anything wacko crazy hanging out down yonder. Ooh, we got Shadow Academy pretty high up, and then there's just a lot of random stuff going on here. Just a lot of random sort of songs. There's a lot of art angels. A lot of art angels hanging out here in the middle. A decent amount of Paramore, particularly After Laughter. A bunch of different Tonight Alive songs. A bunch of random stuff at the end. Just some Sugar Pine 7 out of nowhere. Alright. I vaguely remember listening to that, but I couldn't tell you what it sounds like. But I vaguely remember being like, hey, Sugar Pine 7, I know them. Okay, what else we got? Your artist messages? Okay. I'm gonna swipe up.
Greetings, Spotify fans and music lovers.
Yeah,
alike.
we already... And this is just
this year,
the song?
we put out our first record in 5 years.
Hi,
This
Haley.
is why. And
Yeah.
actually, very recently, we put out a companion to it that is remixes done by friends and artists
They did,
that we
in fact,
really love
do
and
that.
care a lot about. And you guys made this year very, very memorable, not only
Yeah.
because you bought the record and you listened to it, but because you showed up to the shows and you made some of the most memorable shows of our band's career.
Haley, you took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, and we love you, and hopefully we see you very soon.
Hello Spotify, my
And
name
it's
is
you.
Yul. Thank you for the support in 2023.
You're welcome.
And I would like to thank my fans. My fans who
Random buzz.
supported me in this year. This is Yul, and thank you. Hello Spotify.
That
my
was...
name is Yul. Thank you. Thank my fans.
I mean, on brand.
My
That was
fans.
on brand. On brand. Yep.
Hey everybody, we are the Used.
Hello.
Thank you so much for listening to us. We had a
You
wonderful
guys
year in
didn't make it
2023,
very
lots of
high
tours,
on
lots
my
of
list
music.
this year,
And we can't wait
unfortunately,
for
but I still like
2024.
the youth.
Thank you guys very much for
Fall Out
listening
Boy is...
to us.
I don't know if they're anywhere on my list this year. I do still like Fall Out Boy, though. They want me to get a Dagger t-shirt wrapped exclusive. No thank you. MCR t-shirt. No thank you. Skeleton Hands necklace. No thank you. Hard Eyes t-shirt. No thank you. I don't tend to buy a great deal of merchandise. There are very specific occasions where I may, but most of the time I will not. Yeah, there's... I don't know, there's nothing there that I care about. So I think we're done. We're done with this. So now I'm just gonna look at my phone for stuff. Okay? Okay. Alright, I got the screenshots. We're just gonna start at the beginning and work our way through. And if I have something to say, I'll say it. If I don't have anything to say, then I won't say anything. 25 genres this year. I don't know how that compares to last year. I don't remember. That seems pretty average, probably. Something like 25 is probably about as much as it's gonna get. Okay. I don't know what two of these in particular mean. I'm not quite sure. My top genre was modern rock, which is just rock music, I guess. Second was pop punk. Fair. I would argue that it's my top genre, but to each their own. Third is POV indie. What does that mean? Like, I can't even... Okay, so point of view, indie music. It's indie music, like self-reflective indie music? What? I don't know. I don't know what that is. But that's my best guess. Fourth, and this one, you thought I was having trouble with POV indie? Brother, my fourth is Pixie? What is that? What is Pixie? What? I don't know. I don't know what songs or artists would even fall into that genre. I don't know what it means. But Pixie is my fourth. Then progressive post-hardcore is my fifth. So we got quite an eclectic roundup here, and I don't particularly know what to make of it. Alright, let's see what we got next. Next is, the one where they try to dox you. So it's got a dot, and it says Madison, USA. Where is this Madison? Because it's not... It's not in Ohio. Or is it just saying that people there listen to people that I also listen to? I don't know what this is. I don't know what the point they're attempting to make with this is. And again, where is Madison, USA? There's lots of Madisons in the USA. You can't just say Madison, USA and expect me to know where that is. Even with your little dot, it doesn't particularly help, given that it's a pixel art map of the world. Listen, the more I think about it, the more confused I get, so I'm just gonna move on. We're gonna see what else we got. In 2023, I played 1,152 songs, which I feel like is considerably less than last year. Maybe that's not true, but it feels like a smaller number. But I am also quite prone to song looping, so it's somewhat understandable. Top song was Take Your Time by Chloe Moriando. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think I am. I'm going to act as if I am. Played it 171 times, starting on May 19th. Again, this was just a song that showed up, and I was like, I like how this sounds, so I will listen to it a lot. And then I did that, and then I stopped listening to it after like a few weeks, I think. But I do still like it. It's a good sounding song, and I like the album artwork too. I think the album art is really cool, but that's beside the point. What else we got going on here? Top songs, we already said. It's a weird selection of songs. Like I said, 21 Pilots kind of just came out of nowhere. I like, they're a band that I have listened to for a while, but it's very sporadic. Like, I'll listen to them and then I won't listen to them for like 3 years or something crazy. And then I'll be like, wait, I kind of like them. And then I'll find them and I'll listen to them again. So this was just one of the years that I remembered that they existed. Is I guess what happened here. And again, Vessel I do think is a very good album. I like a lot of the songs on Vessel. And we already kind of talked about Against the Current. They are Paramore-esque in a lot of ways, which is a very good thing. It's a good thing. We like when bands are Paramore-esque, because I can never get enough Paramore, despite them not being anywhere in my top 5. They should be, though. And then Kill V Mame is an interesting one, because last year is when I started listening to Grimes, and I really liked Art Angels. Particularly, I liked Pin and Flesh Without Blood. Kill V Mame was one of them that I wasn't super fond of at the time, but then I just listened to the album again this year, and then I was like, wait, Kill V Mame is actually like real good. And so I listened to it a lot this year. I don't know what you want me to say. That's why it's on the top 5. This year I listened for 26,191 minutes, which is apparently 18 days non-stop. I didn't listen for 18 days non-stop. I listened for 18 days spread out across a year. And I don't know if this is a separate metric from podcasts, or if it's just total time listening on Spotify for the year, music and podcasts and whatever else, or if this would be like just music. Not enough information to answer that question. Not enough information. But I think that's definitely less than 2 years ago. And I think might be less than last year. I think it's pretty similar to last year's. Last year's was somewhere around this ballpark. Apparently on May 24th, I listened to 582 minutes of Spotify. What happened on May 24th? I have no idea why I would have done that on May 24th. How long is that? That's almost 10 hours. I don't know what I would have been doing that I listened for 10 hours. I could have just, like, been working, because sometimes I would listen to music when I was working. Top 14% of listeners worldwide. Okay. Cool, dude. Listened to 752 artists this year. That seems like a lot of artists. I feel like that's higher than normal. Like, by a fair margin. That seems like a big number. Especially considering I listened to how many different songs? Like 1,100 different songs? To have like 2 out of every 3 of those be a different artist is, I think, mildly impressive. Not that I did it intentionally, but still. And then top artist was 21 Pilots. We already talked about, like, this was just the year I remembered they existed, apparently. A little over 1,000 minutes. I'm in the top 1%. Good for me, I guess. And then this is interesting, because this, I understand what this image is doing now. So it's like a frequency graph, but as a circle. May to mid-April, we got some high activity for 21 Pilots, as well as May to mid-July, and apparently also October to early November, which I don't recall, but apparently that was the case. So it's cool that it kind of shows like a breakdown of one, how many dead months there are on some of these. And then it also has the peak listening month, which apparently was April, right before it dipped to nothing, I guess. So that's cool. And then we got Chloe Moriando, who was May and June and October, and that's it. Fair. And then Paramore, we got January, February, March, nothing in April. May, June to middle of July, nothing in August. September, October, November. So we got a lot of Paramore going on. Oh my goodness, Grimes. We got April through mid-July and October through mid-November. And a lot of these like gap times where you see like on a lot of them there's just no activity is when I was in podcast mode, and I just listened to podcasts nonstop whenever I was on Spotify, which is a mode that I am currently also in. I've been listening to like almost exclusively podcasts for a good few weeks now. And then, ooh, this one's a little wacky. Tonight Alive, we've got January and February, March, April, May, June to mid-July, September, October, and November. Okay, so they're pretty distributed here. And as noted previously, it seems like August is just a dead month where I just listen to only podcasts is what I'm gathering from this. August, there was no music listening happening. And I mean, we kind of already talked about this, but top artists, 21 Pilots, Chloe Moriando, Paramore, Grimes, Tonight Alive. If I was able, I would remove Chloe Moriando from this list and put in whoever would have been next, because she is here because of a singular song that I listen to a lot during like 2 periods of the year, and that's about it. The rest of them, it's due to a broader catalog of songs that they're here. I don't know who would be, because then, okay, so let's say Chloe's gone. 21 Pilots would be first, Paramore would be second, Grimes third, Tonight Alive fourth. Who would be fifth? Who would be fifth? Ugh, this is a toughie. I guess it could be Against the Current, because Tonight Alive and Against the Current are both Paramore-esque, sort of. Against the Current, less so. Tonight Alive, very Paramore-esque, but I guess Against the Current would be slotted in there. Alright, what else we got? Has anyone ever told you that you're a great listener? Well, apparently I am. I spent 17,833 minutes listening to podcasts. Again, I'm not sure if that is a separate metric, because I feel like I spend more time this year listening to podcasts than I did listening to music. So I feel like the 26,000 is a combined metric, and my actual numbers are like 17, almost 18,000 for podcasts and like 8,500 for music. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're separate. Who knows? Regardless, that's a lot of time listening to podcasts. I do love me a good podcast. The top podcasts, okay. So, I think there was like an internal like bias going on with The Yard, because I didn't used to listen to them on Spotify. I tended to just watch on YouTube, but now I do both. So I was like conflating and combining the two in my head, in which case The Yard would be number 1, I'm pretty sure. But based on just Spotify alone, apparently not. But they did still make the top 5, because I don't know what else there would have been to crack the top 5. Oh, Whine About It could have. But that's another one. That's the same scenario where half the time I'll listen to it on Spotify and the other half of the time I'll watch it on YouTube. Star Talk, because it's Neil deGrasse Tyson and he's wonderful. 2 retro gaming podcasts, because they're just interesting to listen to, sort of like people retrospecting. Is that a word? People retrospecting? I'm gonna assume it's a word. We're gonna just roll with it. On games, and both these podcasts are set up fairly similarly, tonally somewhat different though. But similar in a conceptual sense, and I do enjoy them both, though I haven't been listening to them very much recently. Chilluminati is another one that I kind of go through waves with it, where I'll listen to a bunch of it and then I'll kind of stop for a few months and then I'll come back and listen to a bunch of it again. It's another just interesting podcast to listen to. It's a good cast of hosts, and the topics are always interesting because it's like a paranormal / conspiracy, not like that kind of conspiracy. Nothing with frogs and vaccines and anything like that. It's like silly fun conspiracies. And also true crime. There's also some of that, which isn't always as fun, but is still interesting to listen to. Maybe I'm just weird, but yeah, I'm a podcast boy. What do you want me to say? Oh my goodness. over half of my podcast listening time was for Chilluminati. Nearly 9,000 minutes. That only puts me in the top 4%, which is crazy. And then I don't know what this is. They didn't do as many, okay, they did do some weird things again this year, but the weird things were just, they weren't the same kind of weird. It was a different weird this year than the normal weird that has been the past 2 years. Like, this is strange. Apparently I'm a time traveler, and this is like a weird tarot card thing. So apparently it's just saying that I like to listen to songs on repeat. I don't know what it's trying to say, because it's got like the arrows on the card make it look like it's a loop symbol, but it calls me a time traveler, which doesn't make sense with the rest. I don't think. I don't know. They just kind of phoned this stuff in, and I don't really care about it. Let's move on. Is that everything? That was the end of that. Yeah, that was the last thing. And then we've just got the little recap cards. Yeah. I guess we're done. That's everything. We've covered it all. And I don't have anything else really to say. Partly because I want to stop talking because my throat hurts a lot. And I've been talking longer than I was hoping to already. I do coaching stuff today, which is why I'm all fancy looking with my coaching polo and whatnot. All spiffy and snazzy. Anyway, that was off topic. I hope you enjoyed. This one was a surprising one. This one caught me off guard, mainly because I forgot about 21 Pilots again. If you want to share yours with me, I guess you can somewhere. I don't know. I don't really look at Twitter. I'm sorry, X anymore. Other than to reply to the occasional DM, but I don't know, you could just put it in a comment or something if you want to share, or make your own video and share it with me, which Reece has already done, and I still need to watch it. I'll wanted to do mine first though, before watching it, but you should also go watch it. I'll put a link in the end cards for it, and that'll be cool and neat and fun, and it'll be a great time. You'll have a wonderful time. I'm just rambling now. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.